What's up, y'all? It's Don, the creator of Rich Values Prosper, with another video. I have 8 useful hip mobility workouts to tackle the range of motion of hip extension, flexion, and rotation, as well as abduction and abduction. Generally, when it comes to mobility, you should make a full session of it, especially if you're an athlete looking for explosiveness and strength, but also if you're the average person that gets a stiff back, stiff joints from just doing a regular sitting and standing on a job. Me personally, even just stretching before a workout isn't enough. My muscles tighten up too quickly, especially if I sit on a plane for hours at a time. But in any case, as you saw, I started off with a foam roller to loosen my muscles out. I use it a lot because it makes a real difference in how high I jump and how fast I run. Plus, it decreases cramps by a lot. Just make sure you're treating it like a real massage and really dig into those muscles and hold every knot. As for actual mobility, I start off with 90-90s. I lean down, touch my chest on my knee, bring it over to the other side, and keep going back and forth like windshield wipers. See, this is a good starting point for people that have stiff hips, stiff joints, and can't really get down all the way. And over time, you'll get lower and even add a little twist to it to really get that deep glute medius maximus stretch. Now, I can't lie, this makes a world of difference if you didn't already have this. You see here, from those 90-90s, I twist into a pigeon pose. And notice how when I transition, I don't use my hands. At first, you could start with using your hands, but as your core gets stronger, your hips get more mobile, you don't even use your hands. Challenge yourself, you can do better. In this next part, I'll hold the pigeon pose, and I twist my outside shoulder into my knee, and then twist it right back out. Now, for someone that's not used to doing these are actually going to be pretty difficult and a strength workout all on its own. Now, eventually, as you progress, use a resistance band, do more reps, push your range of motion, and get deeper as well. But notice your hips feel freer in using them after doing these, since you'll be unlocking the medius into its fullest potential, which then limits tears and lateral knee pains. Now, when it comes to mobilizing a joint, you're not just stretching it, you're making its deeper position more functional. Therefore, it's a stretch exercise with the element of a strength workout. And I'll let the video play out a little bit so you can see how it really applies. Now see, hamstring curls, that's probably my favorite hamstring stretcher that there is. Because first you start off just touching your toes and breathing into getting lower rather than hopping or forcing your way down. Then you move on to some weight with, for example, a barbell, and you allow that to take you even further down and you breathe into that. That's when you start doing reps coming up and down and progressively get a little bit lower. And I swear this alone kept my hamstrings from ever cramping up or tearing or anything like that. And not only that, it's a great lower back stretch as well. Now finally, I'll move on to one of my favorite hip flexor stretches, a stationary lunge. Now this isn't my favorite because of just the hip flexor stretch. It also stretches your toes as well as cause your adductors to have to work in unison with the rest of your legs. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see in this angle, but with each rep down, I actually close my knees tighter together while also stretching out my toes on the way down. On the way up, I try to focus on using my hip flexors to push myself up. And the deeper I go, the more I feel it. And that's 8 mobility hip exercises. I hope you got something out of this video, and if you want more, like, share, and subscribe, and I have many more to come.